Now, this story is called The Rain Dragon by Elaine Korkos, illustrated by Katharina Bushoff. Rain Dragon. A very long time ago, in a village at the foot of the Yellow Mountains, the sun had been burning the earth and drying up the rivers for days and days. The garden, the fields and roofs and the roads in the village were covered in dust. Every evening, the villagers begged the Rain Dragon to tip his vase of water over the land. But the Rain Dragon didn't seem to hear them because the next day the sun shone even brighter than before. Here's a village, here's the sun, here's a fox. Oh, look at all that bright stuff. Like all the villagers, little Lee May was hot and thirsty. One day she heard a moaning sound. Where was it coming from? She looked and found a fox in the shade of the old twisted pine tree. The fox was lying on the parched ground. Its tongue was hanging out like a piece of dry wood, and its fur was covered in dust. Its breathing was very faint, like the rustling of dead leaves. Lee May said, "If this fox doesn't drink, it will die." And you see that? That's the little fox there, and this is the little fox here. Little May ran home. She took a few drops of water in a ladle from the last water pot. Then she quickly ran back to the old twisted pine tree, being very careful not to spill any water. Lee May put the ladle near the fox. The fox lapped up the water with his tongue. Then he got up and ran away. When Lee May got home, her family had no more water to drink. The last water pot was empty, completely empty. So Lee May decided that she would go and find the Rain Dragon. She would leave early the next morning and go into the Yellow Mountains where the Rain Dragon lived. She would persuade him to make the rain fall. My dear parents, I have gone to the mountains. I will be back soon with a nice surprise. Don't worry about me, your loving daughter. Parents look sad, don't they? Lee May left home at dawn. She climbed for hours. At the top of the mountain, she walked through a cloud. The cloud was cold and cheered her up. Further on, she came across a cave. Was this where the dragon lived? She went inside and called, "Rain Dragon, are you there?" But there was no answer. Lee May didn't give up. She called, "Rain Dragon, where are you hiding?" Suddenly she heard the sound of hoofs. It wasn't the dragon. It was a winged horse carrying the Rain Dragon's water vase on its back. Lee May climbed onto the horse's back, and they flew off into the sky. She tipped the vase, and a drop of water fell out. Just one drop. Would that be enough to water the whole valley? Lee May tipped the vase over a bit more, and 2 drops fell, then 5, then 10. Afterwards, the winged horse left Lee May on the ground. Soon terrible things began to happen. The river overflowed. Raging waters flooded roads, farms and fields, and swept the animals away. Lee May climbed into a boat to try and get home to her parents. She cried, "Oh, Rain Dragon, you who control the water, save me. Save my parents and all the villagers. I beg you." At that moment, the Rain Dragon rose up out of the water and climbed to Lee May's boat. "How dare you go into the mountains, ride my horse, and use my rain vase without my permission?" he shouted. Lee May crouched at the other end of the boat. She was too terrified to speak. When the rain dragon calmed down, the water stopped raging. Then the dragon said in a gentler voice, "Yesterday you saved a fox by giving him some water. That fox was me. I would have died of thirst if you hadn't taken pity on me." The dragon went on, "Although you use my rain vase without my permission, I shall save the village to reward you for being brave and good." Oops. The rain dragon spun around and round and then disappeared off into the distance. The water level in the river soon went back to normal, and the Lead Maid was able to get back to her village safely. She found her parents, who had climbed to the top of the old twisted pine tree for safety. Since then, the villagers have respected the dragon on a symbol of life and power. Since then, they have also respected foxes, because in every fox there could be a dragon hiding. Who knows? The end. And that is the end of our story. So, goodbye.